It's a Friday night. You don't have plans, you're home by yourself. You pick up your iPhone, start browsing through Instagram and Facebook because you're slightly curious about what everyone else is up to. You spend a fair bit of time scrolling and then you realise you're feeling lonely. Perhaps you should have organised something. You're sad. But why? People love to report about technology making us sad, saying that using social media instills a fear of missing out, and that seeing a representation of everyone else's beautiful lives is a recipe for depression. But what if there's more to it? What if it's not just your friends who are manipulating your emotions, but the platforms? Emotions have always been a hot topic in advertising, and even more so on social media platforms. Study after study has shown that emotional posts, especially negative ones that induce fear or anger, have a much higher chance of being shared and commented on than positive posts. Now, advertisers are taking personalisation further and are taking advantage of the special place emotions have in our hearts, using everything from neuroscience to artificial intelligence to what sounds like sci-fi technology. So, what exactly is going on? Behind the facade of an app, tech companies can make use of a bunch of tools to determine how you're feeling. The words you choose to include in a status update or comment and your typing speed can be analysed to determine your feelings. In your device, the accelerometer captures how your phone moves, the microphone listens for background noise, and, potentially, surreptitious photos of your face taken through your webcam can be run through facial expression recognition software. Sometimes we simply volunteer this information, like through the Choose a Feeling function on Facebook. It allows you to express yourself, but more importantly for Facebook, it gives the company valuable data on how you're feeling. These tools all work together to paint a picture of your emotional states, and this feedback influences the news, posts, and advertisements that you see.
What happens when you go on Facebook or when you go on YouTube is that you've got this hidden to you artificial intelligence machine that's like, what will I show her that will make her stay here? Right? That's what it's figuring out. And as humans, we have emotions and they're important to us.
The most influential companies have gotten so good at capturing your attention, now they're coming for your emotions. This is called mood targeting. It's not exactly a new idea, but it's becoming more important as technology is getting better at reading our emotions and even manipulating them. Media companies, too, have jumped on the bandwagon. In September, the New York Times, ESPN, and USA Today rolled out ad products that they say can use artificial intelligence to predict the emotional response any piece of content evokes and then match ads to people in certain moods. The New York Times, for example, allows advertisers to target their ads on content predicted to evoke emotions like self-confidence or adventurousness in the readers. Advertisers have always tried to show ads to people when they're most receptive to them. But using artificial intelligence to target people based on their emotions feels a lot more intrusive. Still, it stops short of manipulating people's actual mood. Or does it? This came to our attention in 2014 in what we'll call the Facebook experiment, when we found out that Facebook researchers experimented with more than 600,000 people. Now, in science, it's known that longer-lasting moods, like happiness or depression, can be contagious. They can be transferred through your in-person networks. So, the Facebook researchers wondered, is the same thing true in online networks? The researchers randomly selected users and controlled the number of positive and negative posts that appeared in their newsfeed. When the researchers reduced positive expressions, people posted fewer positive things and more negative things. And then when people saw less negative posts in their newsfeed, they posted less negative things and more positive things. So it looked like emotions expressed by others on Facebook do influence our own emotions. And yes, emotional states can be contagious at mass scales over social networks. When the results were published, an outcry followed. Was it ethical to run an experiment on people without their knowledge of ever participating in one? Was it okay to induce sadness across a population that most certainly included people at risk of depression or suicide? But even outside of this study, Facebook algorithms are manipulating your newsfeed all of the time to try and keep you online for longer. This study just highlighted how far they can go. Though, are they actually using these techniques? It's not quite clear. But in 2017, The Australian published a leaked document from 2 Facebook executives on mood targeting, where advertisers can target ads to people in certain emotional states. Using pictures, posts and reactions, they collected data on the emotional state of more than 6 million young Australians and New Zealanders, many of them teenagers, to find moments where young people need a confidence boost. Facebook responded, saying they were undertaking research to better understand emotions, rather than just using data to serve ads. Though just 5 weeks later, Facebook was granted a patent that outlines the uses of emotions in advertising. If users appear attentive or sad or bored, different ads may be served. And it's not just limited to Facebook. Many companies have looked into using new technologies to leverage users' emotions. There are hundreds of patents for emotion sensing technology. Some are so creepy that hopefully they're filed just in case they're useful and they'll never see the light of day. Even Apple, who makes a tiny fraction of its profit from ads and is known for advocating for user privacy, has done research on mood targeting. It claims it can determine mood based on different types of data gathered by fitness trackers. Think heart rate, blood pressure, adrenaline level, and body temperature. It can also use signals like what apps they're using and when, what kind of music they're listening to, as well as interactions with social networks, all to triangulate on the user's mood. Social media can even be used to monitor the mood of a crowd. Snapchat as well has filed a patent detailing how to detect mood from selfies and images to monitor the aggregate mood of a crowd at an event. You have to admit, all this technology that can read our emotions is cutting edge and kind of cool. But it's not being developed to help us when we're sad or to make us happier. It's used to figure out when it's the best time to show you another ad.
Unfortunately, the kinds of emotions that can be picked up on and amplified and used by the addiction and manipulation algorithms the best tend to be negative ones. So it's a lot easier to make somebody anxious than make them feel comfortable. Unfortunately, it's a negativity machine intrinsically.
Now, not all of this technology is actually being used, at least not publicly. But there's no guarantee that businesses are going to stop here.
We'll be more and more vulnerable, so we'll just stop being in control if we're not careful. So at any point, we can take back control, but we have to realize first, before taking back control, that all these systems are trying to hack us. They are trying to derail us from what we want to do to something else in order to make us watch more ads.
Now, advertising has always tried to appeal to our emotions. TV networks have tried to keep us glued to the screen during ad breaks. Competing for eyeballs, whether that's on TV or Facebook, is what defines the attention economy underlying advertising. But now, as more and more research makes it possible to understand and take advantage of our emotional states, the attention economy shifts into an emotion economy. Your emotional state is reflected in your online behaviour. Your activity timeline on social media can be a digital mental health footprint. So the more connected you are, the more data you provide for piecing together an accurate snapshot of your mood at any instance. I really want you to stop and think about this. Would you be okay if an algorithm figures out you shop more when you're tired and sad, and then it shows you tempting ads once it figures out you're a bit down? For some people, this signifies manipulation, but for others, it's just better advertising. But mood targeting doesn't just stop with ads. All of these platforms benefit from keeping us engaged, so even our news and information can be delivered based on how we're feeling. If one day you're sad, you may see an online world that's literally different from someone who's happy. There's potential for an unprecedented level of manipulation when businesses have access to our information and the technical ability to decipher our feelings. Is there an ethical line that shouldn't be crossed? And if so, who draws it? Now, if you still feel like paying attention, I just wanted to say that this is number 5 of 6 episodes of Attention Wars. So I hope that you'll join us for all episodes in your own time and at your own pace. Thank you.